Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya, and today we're going to be filming one of the most annoying and tedious videos there is to film on BookTube. It is a bookshelf tour. I obviously saved this to the very last minute. I am moving in about 2 days. People are coming to box up all of these things and take away my shelves, and I will be left with an empty apartment. So I wanted to, while it still can, film this video for you guys so that way I have it documented on the channel where the books are, how they are placed, in what order, in what slot, in what corner of the apartment, what decor pieces are near it. So it's just kind of like a little bit like in the vault in a sense that I have this documented. So we are going to start in the bedroom first because that's where most of the books are that are kind of like not in their correct place. They're stacked up and they don't have a proper home. So we'll start there and then we'll traverse on out of the bedroom and into the living room where I have my two major bookshelves like this one and the Billy bookcase that I love so much that has more of a kind of like thoughtful, thought out order. Yeah, so I don't want this intro to be too long because the video might be a little bit long, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so in my bedroom I have this crazy stack of books next to my bed. Of course, you guys already know the dilemma of running out of space, so let me just do as I've been doing and read off some titles and authors and how I feel about them. So I have An Irish Country Christmas by Patrick Taylor, Emma Donohue's Room, Dickens' Martin Chuzzlewit. Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, which was a pretty good book when I read it. I also have Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, The Complete Short Stories, The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Let's see what this is. This one is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith, and you guys will see that a lot of these will just have the little tags on them because I still haven't removed them obviously, and most of them were quite inexpensive from the thrift store. My Name is Red, this one's by Orhan Pamuk. Brit Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman. Brain on Fire by Susanna Callahan. This one I'm so interested in reading because also it's a movie, so you guys already know how much I love like finding book to pictures, moving pictures.
That's all, folks.
Okay, next I have this copy, this edition of, I don't like that. Like, this is just too modern for me. The Hulu stamp on it, I guess I could remove it. It's removable. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Very intrigued to see what the heck is actually in this book since I've seen the entire series. I also have Aristophanes 4 Comedies. This is a new English version by this person, Dudley Fitz. And then another Friedrich Bachmann book, Beartown. And then I have a very old copy of The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I believe this is a high school copy that I have. Oh my gosh, like years ago. The Autobiography of Santa Claus as Told to Jeff Gwynne, a revised edition of the Christmas classic. I have this random Elvis American Idol book. Why do I have this? I don't know. I really don't. I have Circe by Madeline Miller. This is definitely one of the books that is quite popular on BookTube. I really want to read this. I have The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Sundays at Tiffany by James Patterson. Of course, the name totally reminds me of Breakfast at Tiffany's. Nicholas Sparks' Night in Rodanthe. Rodanthe is a place in North Carolina, I believe. Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. JFK Reckless Youth by Nigel Hamilton. I don't know how many JFK books I have or Kennedy books. Where Have You Gone, Joe DiMaggio? The Hero's Life by Richard Van Kramer. The Complete Stories of Evelyn Waugh. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I got up here on my bed. So I have Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste. I can't even pretend that I know how to pronounce that last name. No. Ellen Hildebrand, 28 Summers. Sumunk Kids, The Invention of Wings. I love this cover. Do you guys hear that? It's because they've been sitting on that stack. Like, basically, they've been sitting as a stack for the longest time. And then I have Colette Hosseini's And the Mountains Echoed. I know that Sarah from Sarah's Perusals. Yeah, I know that she really enjoyed this book, so I'm very excited to see exactly what this is about. Leanne Moriarty's Big Little Lies. I think it's a series or movie. I'm not too sure. Stephen King, Cell, a novel. Also, Stephen King, The Talisman. It's also with Peter Straub. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Tom Sawyer's Comrade by Mark Twain. This one is extremely difficult to read because of the Mississippi dialect, but it's a really important book that I think everybody should get a chance to read once. And then I have Kazuo Ishiguro's The Buried Giant. And I am just realizing this right now that this is a sign signed first edition. This is so cool to me. I don't know. Like, I was like, what? Because, you know, when you look at something like this, you're thinking that it's just like the prizes or the seal. But yeah, here it is. Like, oh, that's dope. That's pretty cool. So very excited to read this because I've had this in my collection for like 2 years or so. Guys, it's about time. Hopefully once I do get to Florida, we can ramp up our reading game because it has slowed down tremendously for me. But yes, I love this book. The edges are like sprayed black edges. So beautiful. And it has that beautiful like gold foiling. I think that's what people say. I don't know. You guys help me out with that. A little random, but I do have DC Comics, The Ultimate Character Guide. I think I got this one off of Thrift Books. Sorry that I keep hitting the little dinosaur, but oh my gosh, I'm trying to get to maybe a character that we might know. Boom. Boom. Yeah, so it's just a fun little book that has like a bunch of DC characters and their abilities and their actual alias, meaning like whoever they are pretending to be, as far as like the hero names and then the real names. So Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, Catwoman, super cool. I love this. Absolutely love this. And then I have Where the Sidewalk Ends, everything on it. Poems and drawings by Shel Silverstein. I am so happy to own this book. It is still wrapped with its like covering, the plastic wrap that it came in. But yeah, this is just somebody who just writes the most charming and funny little children's poems. I used to read them all the time. I know that my little brother loved Shel Silverstein. He is quite amazing in our house. So yes, I do have this gorgeous copy. It's leather bound. Shel Silverstein's poems. So yeah, very happy about that. So that was just one stack. Now let's take a look at this one here. So I have Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun. Amazing. Just amazing. You guys check out the play.
Raisin in the Sun. It is based on the play acclaimed by every drama critic in every city in which it was performed.
Travis, is them the right amount of zeros?
Yes'm. $10,000.
A man say to his woman, I got me a dream. She says, eat your eggs, they getting cold. Man say to his woman, help me now to take a hole in this world somehow. And she says, eat your eggs and go to work. I tell you, I gotta change my life because I'm choking to death, and all you say to me is eat these eggs.
Now you say after me, in my mother's house there is still God.
Amazing. I also have Benjamin Franklin, The Autobiography and Other Writings. Really important figure in American history. History. You guys, I don't know why my copy of A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens is so like battered. I haven't even touched it, but yes, I have the Penguin's cloth-bound edition. But yes, I love it. It's so pretty. Yeah, that's something else that I have. Year of Wonders by Geraldine Brooks. Oh man, I heard this book wasn't that good. I think from years ago from Emma's channel, she just did not like it. So I just want to read it. If I don't like some of these books, obviously I will be unhauling, and then maybe we can do like a little free library in Florida. Okay, this looks like it's right up my alley. The Bookseller of Kabul by Asni Sierstad. It looks like it's supposed to be about this man who brings about books to the people of Kabul, Afghanistan, and you can imagine that it would be a dangerous thing, especially since that area is pretty much controlled by, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but you know, there are people who terrorize other people there. So yes, you can imagine that situation. So books are obviously invaluable things that people need in their lives. So I can't wait to get into this.
Con los terroristas.
Like, I just want to travel to this place here with the mountains and this horse and these trees. It just looks so peaceful. So this is Jojo Moyes, the author of Me Before You. And this is her book, The Giver of Stars. I think it's a her, right? I don't know. Yeah, okay. There she goes, I think. That should be her. Anyways, very beautiful book. I don't know a thing about it. The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. This looks like it's gonna be a thriller. Gives you very dark vibes. Yeah, another one. Sometimes I just randomly pick books out of the thrift stores that just speak to me, you know? If anyone calls, tell them I died by Emmanuel Manu Rosen. So this is it, if you guys are curious about that particular book. John Okada, No Boy. Love my little penguin black spine editions. Just so beautiful. And again, guys, this price, you really can't beat it. Paradise Lost by John Milton. This is a very famous work that obviously touches on biblical themes. Again, another black spine penguin. So it says here, in Paradise Lost, Milton produced a poem of epic scale, conjuring up a vast, awe-inspiring cosmos and ranging across huge tracts of space and time. And yet, in putting a charismatic Satan, which is just so crazy, and a naked Adam and Eve at the center of the story, he also created an intensely human tragedy on the fall of man. So yeah, this we have to take our time with, and I'm sure we'll be annotating it as well. A little random, but I have this personality self-portrait book here by these doctors. Well, maybe one of them is just a Dr. John M. Oldham, Lois B. Morris. So new personality self-portrait, why you think, work, love, and act the way you do. This is from university, so that's why I still have it. And it was enjoyable. There's even like a little personality test, kind of like reminiscent of the Myers-Briggs. And then I have a second one, a thick Catholic catechism for adults. This is a US version, I suppose. But yeah, it's a very thick book, all about Catholicism, the rules, and some of the history of the church as well. Haven't a clue about this one, but this is a Nicholas Sparks novel called See Me. And you guys already know that I'm trying to just read all of them. The ones that don't bring any value or happiness or joy or feelings out of me will definitely be carted away. I don't know why this book is just making me laugh internally, but I think it's just because of Matt Damon. But I have The Zookeeper's Wife by Diane Ackerman. Oh, and it's also a war story, so I didn't even know that. Nicholas Sparks, At First Sight. And then I have this pretty neat book that my brother gifted to me. It's called On Writing and World Building, Volume 1 by Timothy Hickson. Very gorgeous cover. And then this is another author that I really want to read just about everything because he has his Nobel Prize in Literature, Orhan Pamuk. This one's called Snow, and it looks like Miss Handmaid's Tale writer, the author, Margaret Atwood, has a little blurb here in the front of the book. But yeah, it's a little ratty book that I got. It's quite tattered.
Tatty, second-hand book. You must be the Weasleys.
And then I have David Auburn's Proof. It's a play. I love plays, and apparently this is the winner of the Pulitzer Prize. So another Nicholas Sparks book, A Walk to Remember. You guys probably already know about this story of this girl who I believe gets leukemia, and it just goes downhill. It's pretty sad. So I wanted to read the book because I think I had like a very tiny version of it, but I traded it for something a little bit bigger, more enjoyable, because you guys, these tiny little mass market paperbacks are just not it, you know? So yeah, that's the one that I have. I can't wait to read it and just get a little bit more about it because that movie is definitely iconic. It's very good, and in my household we love it. Mitch Albom's The Timekeeper. Y'all already know how much I love him. I was listening to this via audio, I believe, and reading the book, and it wasn't too much of an enjoyable experience, so I paused it and I'll pick it back up a little bit later when I'm in the right mind frame, I guess. Ernest Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls. I believe this is about death and loss. I have heard that it is pro-communism, so yikes. We'll find out about that, and I will tell you in the future if that is true. I have another Leanne Moriarty book, 9 Perfect Strangers. So this one, just by the title alone, I picked it up. It's called The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer. This has to deal with the Second World War. We have this girl who is in love and engaged to a boy who's attending, I think, university in Warsaw, Poland. So she's pretty close to the Polish border. And of course, the brutality and the cruelty of Nazi soldiers and the Germans are gonna play a huge role in this whole novel, of course. So it's about this thick. Yeah, very excited about that. I always enjoy my historical fiction books, you guys. I read one that was just incredible just a few days ago. It's called The Rose Code. Oh, so good. This is Daisy Miller by Henry James with an introduction by Elizabeth Hardwick. 13 Days, a memoir of the Cuban Missile Crisis with a new foreword by Arthur Schlesinger Jr. And this is actually by RFK, which is this guy right here. I feel like many of you probably have already read this, but I have not. This 90s dark academic book, Donna Tartt, The Secret Society. See, it's just secret societies. They do exist. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So I don't know. A lot of people say that this book is quite enjoyable, and then some say like, oh, it's not really that great. So We'll check it out. We'll see what this is about. Look at how easily this book can stand on its own, literally. Stephen King's Under the Dome. So it says here that it's a CBS television series event. I don't know. I didn't hear it from any movers. I don't know why I can never say like movies or TV shows or anything like that. Oh, it's a little bit like it needs a little bit of dust and wipe down. But yeah, I think I was looking at another Stephen King miniseries that might have been on HBO, and then when I saw this, it just reminded me of that, so I just picked this book up. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize, The Hours, Michael Cunningham. Another gorgeous black spine penguin classic edition. This is Saul Bellows' The Adventures of Augie March. I have yet to read any Jane Austen books. This is Mansfield Park. I hope you guys are enjoying Blue over here, because she loves you. She loves you. Okay. Okay, Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I had to hold my breath for that one. That's a tough name. Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky.
Russian. Yeah, not a clue about what this is, but yeah. And my final book from my little stack over here by my bed is Rainer Maria Rilke's Letters to a Young Poet. To be very frank, I got this because of Emma. She just is enamored with Rilke, and I was like, let me get into this to see what this German, I believe? This German guy, what's up? Like, why does she like him so much? Let's read a little blurb of just a little bit. Most unsayable of all are works of art, mysterious existences whose lives exist alongside. At the start of the 20th century, Rainier, I want to say Rainier, but that's like a freak from like that cult, Rainer Maria Rilke wrote a series of letters to a young officer cadet advising him on writing, love, sex, suffering, and the nature of advice itself. These profound and lyrical letters have since become hugely influential for writers and artists of all kinds. This book, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm just so silly. Like I can never look like, oh, I'm just weird. Okay, I'm sorry. So hugely influential for writers and artists of all kinds. This book also contains the Letter from a Young Worker, a striking polemic against Christianity written in letter form near the end of Rilke's life. Okay, definitely gonna have to check this out to see. But yeah, very fun cover. Like, ooh. Like it looks like ink or pencil. Anywhoosies, let's get back to more books. You guys, we're not done. Not even close. Little makeshift shelf section that's right above my television. I don't want to like show my reflection, but yeah, it's right over my TV with the two-tone walls, and I think it's quite simple and cute. At night, it really is a stunner because we have like these super cute star twinkle lights as well as this IKEA lampen. Y'all, I know almost every single name of the IKEA products that I bring into my home because I just love the design, the simplicity of it all. But to start over here, just so you guys know some of the decor pieces, I just have like a little faux plant. It kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies just a little bit because it reminds me of like a salamander newt type thing. It just reminds me of the desert, which I don't know, it's been up here for the longest time and I never change it, so I guess it doesn't bother me that much. But I also have this glass bottle that I like to think that could go out to the sea with a little cork in there and a message for somebody. And then I have this little series here by Shelley Foote with an E. So basically it's like a Civil War narrative, I suppose. It says it right there, of course, but yeah, and it's from Random House. And then I have a little mirror here with some faux florals. This Fujifilm camera, I'm not even sure if that still works. That's my sister's. This is my little IKEA lampen. It just gives this like salt lamp vibes, you know, like a Himalayan salt lamp. And then I have this super cute jellyfish paperweight. Got that from Home Goods. And this is from IKEA, the plant holder and the plant. And then these are the little books that I have here. So I have Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I love that movie. It was so, so good. I have The Hate U Give by, I can't really tell who it is, but I see Thomas as the name. I'll put it on the screen if anything. And then The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein, I think. I can't really see. I'm tall, but I'm not that tall. And then look at that. This is the problem. Another copy of James Patterson's Sundays at Tiffany's. That's pretty bad. So that's 2 copies of that, you see. And then The Magic Strings of Frankie Presto by Mitch Albom and For One More Day by Mitch Albom. So that's what I have up here.
I'd like to spend my vacation at the library.
And then over here on top of this really cool trunk that I got, I have a whole stack of books. This is just a portrait of Our Lady or the Queen of Heaven, the Mother of God, whatever you want to call her. It's just such a pretty little portrait. I got that off of Etsy. It's just so calming and beautiful and just peaceful. It really just I love this absolutely so much to pieces. This is one of the actual first pieces of art I think that I ended up putting in the apartment. But yes, and then I have like this crazy little palm tree, and then these books are really not even supposed to be here, y'all. They're not. Normally what I would do is cover this palm tree with twinkle lights, but I haven't had the chance since moving here, and the time is up. The time is up. We're about to leave literally in a few days, meaning like all of these things are gonna go. So how am I going to showcase to you all of these books? The task at hand. Okay, figured I'd make this easy on myself. So I have The Giver by Lois Lowry, Agatha Christie, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I've been wanting to read this for forever. This is a great one. The Autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Haley. And then we have Patrick Taylor's An Irish Country Village, a novel, and then An Irish Country Girl. I just wanted to be transported, to be honest. Since I couldn't take any vacations outside of this country, which is the United States, might as well do it in book form. So I have Toni Morrison's Beloved, Toni Morrison's Sula, this weird little version of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Alice Hoffman's Practical Magic, and then I have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. You guys let me know. I hear that this is not even worth our time. Parts 1 and 2 play scripts. So is this, what is this? Like a play or something? Oh my, it is. You see, I don't know. I hear that this one's like, this isn't it. I wouldn't even know what the heck this is about because I haven't even finished the whole Harry Potter series. I'm on like book 2 right now, so I don't know anything about this. So you guys let me know if it's worth anything. But yeah, that's the first row. Stephen King, The Dark Tower 5, Wolves of the Kala, A Man Called Ove. I think it's Ove. I want to say Ove so bad. But again, Friedrich Bachmann. Old School, a novel by Tobias Wolff. It just looked very like, look at this. I mean, I'm not trying to knock any kind of religious schools or anything like that, but it just gives an ominous feeling like their heads are bowed, probably doing a prayer over lunch or breakfast or whatnot. It just gives me that school ties feeling, you know, so I'll let you guys know all about this. Stay tuned for that one. This is a Steinbeck East of Eden. I put it this way because there's like no title on the actual cover. And then I have Carolyn's favorite book, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Toy Store.
How you doing, Toy Store? What did you call me? Toy Store. Your name is Disher, Dish, Plate, Plato, Play-Doh. And where do you buy Play-Doh? Toy Store. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, and then Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck again. So Steinbeck. And then this book I got in Savannah a little while ago. It's called How I Spent My Summer Vacation by Jillian Roberts. Yeah, this is just pretty little book. I think it was like $10. And then I have Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, which I love the movie. Almost every Spielberg movie I just love. And then I found this wicked cool copy of David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Look at the spine. Makes me feel like a lawyer. Okay, and then Orhan Pamuk, A Strangeness in My Mind. This was also another Savannah Fine. His Excellency George Washington by Joseph J. Ellis. Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre. My mom would probably, as soon as she hears the title, she would say it in French. Go ahead, Mom.
It's Hermes.
Boris Pasternak, Dr. Zhivago. This one is so pretty. Look at this cover. It just makes me want to go light my cherry blossom candles. This one is called The Street of a Thousand Blossoms by... Oh, snap. Look at this. Sometimes, I'm telling you, I'm shocked. Okay, so this is by Gail Tsukiyama. That's how I would say it. And then finally, I have the most gorgeous copy of The Giver by Lois Lowry. I do have that janky one right here. And another one that looks just like this, but we're gonna unhaul this. Just, wow. Beautiful. I love this story so much. The Silk Rose, A New History of the World by Peter Frankopan. I ended up getting this in New York near Central Park. I'll definitely link that video. It was a Gilmore Girls one. It was so much fun. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. It's been a while since I've owned this book. And then this is a biography, I think, Salinger by David Shields and Shane Salerno. The First Phone Call from Heaven by Mitch Albom. Just picked these two up. I thought it was interesting. Serial Killers, True Stories of the World's Worst Murderers by Al Cimino. How would you guys pronounce that? And then Serial Killers and Psychopaths, True Life Cases That Shocked the World by Charlotte Gregg and John Marlowe. I believe that this was the book or the story that inspired me to go get Under the Dome by Stephen King. So this is The Outsider, again by Stephen King. The Picture of Dorian Gray. I actually have a cooler copy. I might just unhaul this one. So we'll see about that. This is The Witches by Roald Dahl. I think there's also a 90s movie with Angela Huston, I believe. That's pretty freaky. And then we have Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. Edith Wharton's The Custom of the Country. I think that's right. Yeah. The Custom of the Country by Edith Wharton. Breath, Eyes, Memory by Edwidge Danticat. I don't particularly love seeing things like this, like Oprah's Book Club or Reese's Book Club. Like, but the titles, they seem so interesting that I was like, oh, I really want to nab them. They just, spoke to me. House of Sand and Fog by Andre Dubus III. Half of A Yellow Sun, a novel by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Okay guys, so I wanted to show you my Billy bookcases here that I have in this corner of the apartment. Yeah, so this is kind of a better view of it. I would love to add these like lantern string lights inside to channel this particular picture from IKEA. This was a complete like IKEA inspo thing that I went with for the wallpaper and this color of the Billy bookcase. So I'll definitely put it in. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys before we open up the glass cabinets how everything looks on the outside. I ended up putting a couple of puck lights in the bookcase, like right here. So let's go ahead and get started. Which area do we want to start first? Okay, so opening this up, I just threw in the lantern so that way it can help us with lighting up the inside of the cabinets as well. But let's start at the very top of the shelf here. Okay, I almost forgot to mention what's on top. I just have a full plant from IKEA. I have my copper string lights and then some characters from I bet this is so dusty. Oh my goodness. Because I never go up here. But yeah, some characters from Avatar The Last Airbender. So I have Fire Lord Ozai, Lee, and the Avatar. And then I have this really cute vintagey type of glass bowl. I had to be extremely careful because look, you guys, this is my little secret. I didn't paint the rest of the wall blue, but yeah, there's a huge gap and sometimes I forget and almost throw things in there. So yeah, this is ugh. And then this one here, this bookcase, which is the bright one, we have just this pot from Home Goods and then a faux fern that really needs some serious dusting. But yes, on top here, it's a little bit neglected, I suppose, because a lot of the books that I was reading came from my other shelf, which is that one over there, the white one. But yeah, so I have another copy of The Outsiders and Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I really like this one. Obviously, you guys can see how dusty this is, but yeah, I really just wanted to make sure that I documented an inventory, so I have it on the channel, so I can go back and just kind of look at how everything was. But yeah, I have this super cute little 1 degree down, 1 more to go mug that I got from a friend. And then here, this all comes from this one book haul video that I did. Basically, I just chucked it all here. But I have Sophocles, a new translation by Robert Bagg, Antigone, and then I have The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick, The Dubliners by James Joyce, A Separate Piece by John Knowles, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, and then Seabiscuit by Laura Hillenberger, something like that. Apologies, but yes, I'll put her name up on the screen if anything. And then on the second shelf, this is how it is. It's really not to my liking, you guys. This was kind of like an unfinished kind of project. So here I just have this cute little tray from IKEA. I have Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas. I think I actually have another copy, so maybe we'll just declutter that and unhaul it since I am trying to reduce my load for the move. I have It's Not Yet Dark by Simon Fitzmaurice. This one I think we'll read for one of my narrative in medicine videos. The Best of Me, Nicholas Sparks. Dear John, Nicholas Sparks. The Choice, Nicholas Sparks. The Horse Whisperer by Nicholas Evans. 35,000 Baby Names by Lamsky. I'm not sure if I'll keep something like that now. The Only Grammar Book You'll Ever Need by Thurman. Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's. 1984 by George Orwell. I don't like this copy at all, honestly. It's a mass market paperback and it's kind of tiny and I regret purchasing it. I want a different, bigger, better, badder copy. So if you guys have any suggestions for me, please let me know. Another copy of And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie and Murder on the Orient Express. I don't particularly like these tiny little copies. And then back there, just some children's book from childhood, I have this little cactus candle. Let me show you. had it for years now. I have The Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper, The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by L. Frank Baum, Dr. Jekyll and Crazy Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I don't know. I think a lot of people hate this book. You guys, let me know why. I read it once and I enjoyed it, but you know, I don't know. Like, is it that bad? And then here's like a removable, you see, magnetic puck light. Okay, so that's a little better. Yes, I have this really fun book that I read once on a train. I don't know, felt very bold to have this out. Superman versus the Ku Klux Klan by Rick Bowers. And then I have this really cool picture of the Charmed Ones. It's like this famous picture of theirs. I will insert the fun magic that happens. And then this candle book and a Fisherman's Wharf puzzle. I have Eve Bunting, SOS Titanic. This is a very special book because this basically started my little booktube series or journey here on YouTube. So it's the very first book that I decided to kind of give a crack at because I really like this shelf, and I was like, okay, if we're gonna start anywhere, let's start at the Billy bookcase. So I have a cinnamon candle, and then this, guys, is so cute. It says Once Upon a Dream, but it plays like Anastasia's music.
That's so ghetto.
So this is like Aurora from like Sleeping Beauty, but it plays Anastasia's music. Give me 1 second. I need my two hands. See? So fun. And then this cute red jar, The Chronicles of Narnia. This was actually not here before. I just decided to throw it in here. And then I have Tolkien's pieces here. It gets so sad when it's slowed down like this. So I have Tolkien's works here, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Dark Tower, I don't know, what is it called? The Return of the King, and then the last one is called The Two Towers. Yeah, I don't know this at all. And then I have Admiral Zhao here. Admiral Zhao, and look what he's holding, y'all. If you know, you know.
Whatever you do to that spirit, I'll unleash on you tenfold. Let it go now.
Look. Look what he's holding. Terrible. And this is my like pink area, super cute. Just some jars, bracelet, cardboard box, another little tapered candle with a ladybug kind of ring. I have a Dr. Zhivago record back there, a burn book journal, a fake little pearl necklace, this Dreaming of Chanel by Charlotte Smith, and The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger. This might be a serious unhaul because I can't really see myself reading some of these books. And then I have Alice in Wonderland here, a Vogue September 14, 2014 copy, and then this really thick little thing here that says Bible Stories for Children, Conspiracy by Charlotte Gregg, The Cartoon Guide to Buy. Like, I don't know, I'm not really intrigued. I feel like skipping some of these. Like, I'm not gonna read this. I'm gonna give these away. He's just not that into you. I've just had them for so long. I mean years that I just no. Mutiny on the Amistad. Let's see, Sex in the City. Like, I'm not gonna read that. Like, I haven't read any of this stuff here. And I think these are some Nancy Drew books, and then a Jenny MacArthur Belly Laughs book. And then I also have like a little Yankee candle here with some rings on top. And then here at the bottom, I have this really weird teapot that I did like in high school. This broken thing here. I'm gonna have to ask if that needs to go. What else? It's a little tricky to film down here, but I have It's Happy Bunny by Jim Mendino. Such a cute little thing. The Greatest Salesman in the World by Jim Benton. I also have Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Twits, The BFG, James and the Giant Peach, and some Babysitters Club books, and this Valentino cigar box with a cute little silver kind of a teacup. Okay, and then on this side here, again, I'm not very content with the setup. I'm so sorry for all the dust, guys. Yeah, when we do an updated one, I'm sure I'll be much better. This is my first time doing a bookshelf tour, so it's a little awkward and weird. But yeah, I also have a puck light here and just some random stuff. This was not even here like a couple of days ago, but I just stuffed them in here. But yes, let's start here with Pat Conroy. It's called South Abroad. And then I have Stolen Lies by Malika Oufkir. Okay, and then this little hot girl action figure. And then look at that. Again, you see something else I'll declutter. A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. And then a decoupage book that I love. This is a piggy bank from my sister. And then Green Lantern. And then here we have In the Garden of the Beast, by Eric Larson. The Good Son by Christopher Anderson. The Jungle by Upton Captain Sinclair, Nicholas Sparks, A Bend in the Road, The Last House Guest by Megan Miranda, and then Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Barrett. This one is The Sound and the Fury by, is it William, I think? Faulkner? I forget who. But I heard this is a very, very difficult book. The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. The Moon is Down by John Steinbeck. Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. Live by Night by Dennis Lehane. And then The Giver Again. This was the other copy that I was talking to you guys about that is not like all messed up, but I will declutter it because I have that other gorgeous copy. So The Giver by Lois Lowry, and then I just have some really pretty blue drinking glasses and some vases back there, and Aquaman. And then the shelf right under, we have just a mason jar with a lid, this orange glass bottle with a little cork on top, super cute. Yeah, some of this is like politics, just so you guys know. Look, I even have my little JFK Funko Pop, super fun. So just to quickly run through these, we have Kennedy's Last Days by Bill O'Reilly, Kim Edwards' The Lake of Dreams, The 12 Tribes of Hattie by Ayanna Mathis, can't say that, Bill Clinton's My Life. I always talk about how much of a steal this was. Barack Obama's a family portrait, right? They're working on something industrial out there, guys, sorry. So this is, yeah, Barack Obama's A Promised Land, Mark Halperin's In Sunlight and in Shadow, and then I have Khalil Gibran's The Broken Wings. Got that recommendation from Emma again. You guys already know. The Right Side of History by a political commentator, Ben Shapiro. The Case for Trump by Victor Davis Hanson. And again, you can see that it's like a varied mix. And then we have like the Fallen series 1, 2, and 3. I think there's a fourth one. I have a Flash figurine, a New Orleans flask, a couple cute decorative glass pieces, a little Tabasco thing that is probably expired. I got that thing in like 2018, but it's just so tiny and cute. This is a little Lex Luthor by You Moon by G.L. Bevel, and then another kind of like cigar type of box, and this is like my southern, you know, Bayou.
Happy dance! Happy dance!
When you came in, the air went out.
I forget, what do you call those things? Anyway, the South. This is the South area. This is something that my sister made in ceramics. It's like a nod to You're Beautiful. It's like a pig bunny type thing. Super fun. And then down here, let me bring Kennedy back up where he belongs. We have The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest by Stieg Larsson. Her Fearful Symmetry by Audrey Neffenegger. Her last name is something funny. You guys already know what I mean. But yeah, she actually has written one of my favorite books. It's just as enjoyable as the movie, which is The Time Traveler's Wife. Irish Fairy and Folk Tales by Yeats. And then this is like a puzzle back there. Super fun. Like, look how charming this is.
Chip the glasses, crack the plates. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates.
Oh, so fun. Some Reader's Digest, country painting projects. One of my favorite guys, Orhan Pamuk, The Innocence of Objects. I love, love, love this book so much. Just like photography and a little photographs of different things from his life is just like very peculiar and fun the way that's all displayed. I forgot to mention the ceramic piece that my sister made as well. It's not for me, I don't believe, but it's just here. And then I have a taper candle journal that's completely brand new and empty. The Wedding by Nicholas Sparks. Sherwood Anderson's Winesburg, Ohio. The Heart by Mylis de Kringle. So sorry for the butchering. This one will also do for the Narratives of Medicine one day. A Beautiful Mind by Sylvia Nassar and Becoming by Michelle Obama. And then we have The Martian Manhunter, John Jones. And then guys, the bottom stuff, it's really my sister's. I don't really want to go too much into it, but there are just a few more books. Just to rattle off a couple. And we have The Art of War, some religious books, The Kite Runner, I believe, and just pieces from IKEA, ceramics, glass pieces. So yeah, these aren't necessarily my books. We even have Monk, I think, down there. You guys can't see that, but yeah, those aren't necessarily my books, so I wouldn't want to go into them like that, but this is how the setup looks. Yeah, it's not really my favorite setup. Just a couple of shelves that I really enjoy, specifically the Charmed one and the political one and the pink one, but yeah, other than that, it's not really something that is quite decorated or something that was thought of, very thoughtful. It's really not that, but my favorite, I saved the best for last. Okay guys, welcome to the rapid fire quick round. So I finally have a little break in the noise from my neighbor to the outside street noise. So I wanted to just quickly display some of the books that are all over the apartment that have not really found a proper home. I don't want to be going from station to station showing you like, you know, unorganized books, because I have like a stack by the Slughorn, I have some by the television, one on a super cute little IKEA table by the couch. So they don't necessarily have a true home, and I wrestled them all up together and corralled them. And this is going to be the super quick rapid fire round. Herman Melville's Moby Dick, The Velveteen Rabbit by Marjorie Williams, Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak, gorgeous copy of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. I believe that this is the original collection of the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. So we have The Sorcerer's Stone, The Chamber of Secret, The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Goblet of Fire, The Order of Phoenix, The Half-Blood Prince. I always get these two confused, The Goblet of Fire and The Half-Blood Prince, because it's like fiery and it just seems like that cover does not belong there, but I don't know. I'll get there when I get there. And the final book, which is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. If you personally know me, I love things like this. UFOs, Area 51, conspiracy. It's just so much fun. Speculation. But anyway, this is called Area 51, An Uncensored History of America's Top Secret Military Base by Annie Jacobson. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. The Plague by Albert Camus. The Nixon Tapes by Douglas Brinkley and Luke A. Nichter. Finnegan's Wake by James Joyce. I have heard that is one of the most difficult books to read.
I mean, not the hardest, but the hardest one that you can actually read. So
not only from this movie Enough, but it's actually on like several lists of like toughest books to read because it's so convoluted. The Unofficial Harry Potter Cookbook, From Colgin Cakes to Knickerbocker's Glory. This is by Dina Buchholz. This is from Media Lab Books, and it's also an unofficial Harry Potter spellbook. A stunning copy of Hans Christian Andersen's Complete Fairy Tales. Super beautiful. I got this as a present. Molokai by Alan Brennert. Honolulu by Alan Brennert. The Picture of Dorian Gray. This is just a super cute copy that I found at the thrift store. And of course, this is by Oscar Wilde. But yeah. A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I have to show you the cover without the paper. Isn't that just, oh, gorgeous. A Very French Christmas, The Greatest French Holiday Stories of All Time. This is by multiple authors. Epic Road Trips of the Americas, and this is from Lonely Planet. Frog and Toad, The Complete Collection by Arnold Lobel. Most Blessed of the Patriarchs, Thomas Jefferson, and The Empire of the Imagination by Annette Gordon Reed. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize, Peter S. Onuff. Shadow of the Dragon by Sherry Garland. Roots, The Saga of an American Family by Alex Haley. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. You guys, please check out the Netflix miniseries. So good. The Complete Works of William Shakespeare. One of my favorite books. The Circle by Dave Eggers. Profiles in Courage by John F. Kennedy. The Pulitzer Prize winning account of men of principle, integrity, and bravery in American politics. A. Milne Shepard. It says here, Milne Shepard. Milne. I can't say that name. I don't know. You guys help me out with that one. The Complete Tales and Poems of Winnie the Pooh. Just, oh, guys, everybody needs to have this book. I mean, it's just reminiscent of like Beatrix Potter, but yes, that's the one. I'll be sure once I have some time on my hand to get rid of all these stickers. I know they're very unseemly and not fun, but this is a really cool book, The Red Badge of Courage by Stephen Crane. I literally just finished this in like less than a week ago. So good. I forget if it's Gillian or Jillian for this particular author, because I know people say it two different ways, but Gone Girl, y'all, the wife is a psycho, and it's a great book to get into if you want to start your engines with reading again. It's for a mature audience, so definitely keep that in mind. This is not for kids. And of course, right after, I had to put The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. It is really close to the feelings that it brings out of you as a Gone Girl. It's a thriller, really well done. I just read it as well, and I have to say Gone Girl was better, but this was just as good. If it's just as good, then why is that better? just ignore me, okay? But it is a good story. The Terminal List by Jack Carr. This is a series of books. I cannot wait to get the next one. And again, I recommend you guys check out the Amazon Prime series that they have. It's really good. Very enjoyable, action-packed, thriller. It was good. Motherless Brooklyn by Jonathan Latham. I really love the movie, so check that one out as well. Okay, and then I have Brandon Sanderson's fantasy books, The Hero of Ages, Mistborn, and The Well of Ascension. I'm not even sure if those are in the right order. Let me know if this is worth it or not. I was given these books, but I just don't know if this is really something that I'm too interested in. So definitely let me know if this is worth a read, because these are some thick babies, you know, they're thick. He writes and writes and writes. The English Patient by Michael Ondaatje. Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Our Souls at Night by, let's see. I love that these stickers are always covering the stuff up. Kent Harith. The Death of Ivan Ilyich, and Other Stories by Leo Tolstoy. Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. This has an introduction with First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Ian Fleming's Dr. No, and From Russia with Love. If you guys do like 007 James Bond, please let me know who's your favorite. Edgar Allan Poe's Illustrated Tales. Yeah, this is how it looks on the inside. Ooh. I ended up doing a reading of The Mask of the Red Death in here, but yeah, this is really neat. A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. And finally, No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy. I hear that this guy really knows how to write and that a lot of his books are super fun and interesting to get to. Like, he doesn't have many duds. For example, All the Pretty Horses and of course No Country for Old Men. But yeah, I'm excited to see exactly what people are so enamored about with Cormac McCarthy. Now we're gonna get to The White Shelf, finally. I obviously was just kidding. Kidding. Yeah, I just forgot that I had a couple of these books here. So it's just 300 writing prompts. The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. I don't know if that book is worth anything really. I was thinking of unhauling it. Hillbilly Elegy. So Hillbilly Elegy, A Memoir of a Family and Culture in Crisis by J.D. Vance. And then 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But yeah, these books are just inside of my IKEA fabric core, and I just have them placed here with some cute little bottles that we've decorated. A couple of little snails, a glass container, a ship, another red thing that kind of matches the wallpaper, and a cute little wall clock. But yeah, this is just like a medicine cabinet. I have some vitamins, Advil, aspirin for nosebleeds, and band-aids, and all those kind of things, you know, supplements. And then finally, I have my favorite corner in the apartment right here with the white shelf. So this is just how the setup is. So over here I have some of my favorite records that I've collected with this cute little record player, and then some books. It wasn't looking like this before, but again, you just kind of like stuff books where you can. So I have Anatomy of a Metahuman by S.D. Perry and Matthew K. Manning. This Hocus Pocus illustrated novelization by Gris Grimley. 2 copies of basically Detective Comics and Action Comics, 80 Years of Superman and Batman. I have this little cheesecake cookbook, Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I always mess this thing up. Cute little Cheshire cat, and it's the Mina Lima edition, which is really cool. It's like very interactive, like has pop outs and all the like. And then L. Frank Baum, who wrote that Santa Claus book, The Wizard of Oz. And then this cute little kind of like, it just reminds me of Aladdin, of course. You know, this little silver piece here. I don't even know what to call it, a saucer. And then finally, this corner that you guys must have seen so many times. I call this chair the Slughorn chair because it just kind of reminds me of Professor Slughorn from Harry Potter. But yes, let's start from top to bottom, I suppose. So up here, I have these like string lights that kind of go all the way across to the other side with other little posters on the other end. And then I have this wallpaper that, well, it's a fabric that I made into a wallpaper from IKEA. This lamp from IKEA as well as like a floor lamp called the Arsted, I believe. IKEA Slughorn, but it's called the, oh man, I forgot the name. Anyway, IKEA throw pillows and whatnot. So I was just going with a very moody and warm English, dark academic type of English cottage, you know, countryside, very librarian, cozy look on this this end here. So yeah, string lights and then a diagon alley. Oh, this is usually not how this is. It's a little, we'd have to fix that later, but that's the Ethernet cord. And then a little white vase with some faux baby's breath and a pretty little blue and white pot with a faux IKEA plant as well. So to start, we have The Help by Catherine Stockett, The Color Purple by Alice Walker, Mudbound by Hilary Jordan, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, Nicole Yoon's The Sun Is Also a Star, Everything, and then Mitch Albom's The Next Person You Meet in Heaven. Under that, we have The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog. It's supposed to be kind of like I think a nonfiction psychology type of book. And of course, I'll put the author on the screen because I really don't want to disturb this right now. And then we have James Patterson's Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas. It's such a sad, cute little book. Oh, it's really just devastating. And then I have a Versace perfume. I know a little strange, but you decorate your shelves the way you want to. And then this is just such a beauty. I love this shade of blue. Blue is my favorite color. I call this the yellow zone, and then this is the blue zone. So I have this vase here. I forget if I got it from like a Goodwill thrift store. It just gives me the vibes of Charmed. I'll insert a little clip so you guys know what I'm talking about. We have this kind of like super cute blue aquatic type of jar. Just reminds me of like sea glass. And then James Patterson again, Sam's Letters to Jennifer. The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. Alas Babylon by Pat Frank. Such a good book. You guys highly recommend. The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks again.
You find my mama again.
And then this cute little tea canister with beef eaters. You know, the Queen's Guardsman. If it is a woman who is the heir of the British crown throne. I'm American, I don't know how to say that, but I guess the King's Guardsmen now, since they have a new king. So yeah, beef eaters, I think that's what they call them. And then I have this very cute little robot. I love robots as a decor piece. I think I got that from Home Goods if I'm not mistaken. And then Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I have a cookbook here, just 3 cookbooks actually. Fees by Nigella Lawson, The Silver Palette Cookbook by Rosso and Lukens, and The Best of Baking by Hamlin. Okay, next shelf. This one is called Rose Kennedy's Family Album from the Fitzgerald Kennedy Private Collection, 1878 to 1946. But yeah, that's that book. You guys already know how much I love the Kennedys and the idea of Camelot, if you know what I'm talking about. Gustave Flaubert's Madame Bovary, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. I love this really cute beige copy that I have. I have like a couple of copies of this book. And The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. Politically Correct Bedtime Stories by Arthur Finn Garner something? James Finn Garner. Where did I get Arthur from? For decor, I just have this little glass apple, a cypress forest candle. I also have another candle over here. It just smells so good. This rose body oil just for decor again. I've never used it. JFK, the CIA, Vietnam, and the Plot to Assassinate JFK by L. Fletcher Prouty with an introduction by Oliver Stone, who I think is a film director dude. And then another one, The Plot That Killed Kennedy, Crossfire by Jim Mars. I have some random bookmarks over here. How to Read Literature Like a Professor by Thomas C. Foster. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Rigg. Under the Tuscan Sun. The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. Detective thrillers short stories. The Emperor's Bones by Adam Williams. And then Ernest Hemingway's To Have and Have Not. And then another cute little copy of The Wizard of Oz by Frank Baum. Check out this cover. So cute. Next shelf. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. This is the cloth-bound Penguins edition. Dancing with Mr. Darcy by Sarah Waters. It's probably a retelling of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. A Lesson Before Dying by Gaines. The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. Virginia's Wolf's A Room of One's Own. And then I have this super cute little Funko Pop of Quasimodo, and he's holding basically himself, like a little miniature version of himself. So he's just so sad. You guys, it's just my favorite. I love it. Love this so much. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Barrett. This is just, like, how old am I exactly? I have some CDs of Notre Dame de Paris. The Enough Score. The soundtrack, it's so good. You guys, you can sleep to it. It's so beautiful. Some of the best hits of the Beach Boys. It's kind of great to have some of these things, whenever the power goes out or whatnot, or if your internet is out because of, I don't know, whatever. And then I have an X-Files album over here as well. I have Harry Potter, The Tales of Beetle The Bard by J.K. Rowling. The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. You guys, I think I got this for like 75 cents at a thrift store years ago. They might have been a good one. Trying not to get my reflection so it won't be too distracting. I have this super cute green kind of vase. And one of my favorite shades of green is like super dark and hunter green. I got it from Ikea. I just put a little bit of a peacock feathers or whatnot on there. So yeah, that's what that is. A journal. Whoa, wait a second. Sorry about that, guys. What felt like a Top Cat Super Hornet Mustang fighting falcon intercontinental ballistic missile was going over the apartment. So much noise from the air. But yes, I was saying, I have this notebook that says spells. I may get rid of it. And then A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. The Night of the Long Knives by Marison. This cute little kind of crystal decor piece. Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. That was a gift. So good too. Stories I Only Tell My Friends by Rob Lowe. That's another kind of like autobiography type. And then Remembering Jack by Jacques Lowe. All the Lowe's are over here. Over here, the next shelf, we have the collection of Veronica Roth's Divergent series. You guys let me know, is it worth it? Again, I've heard some controversy on this one. I just never picked up exactly what the issue was. But yeah, I do have this series because I loved the movies until they became not so good. And this little cactus decor piece, I love cacti, and then like these tattoos that came probably with one of the books. I just threw it up there. This piece here is from Ikea. It's a lamp, super cute in this maroonish color. And then of course I kind of kept the theme here, dark and red and twilight. This here is like a thing that you basically like put on the book when you're reading, like that, so like you can spread the pages out. Let me kind of demonstrate. Look at that. So something kind of like that. I'm holding, you know, my other hand is a little bit preoccupied, so I'm not doing it just right. So this one is volume 1 of Twilight, the graphic novel. I don't know, again, if I will keep something like this. Bonded by Blood, Robert Pattinson, and Taylor Lautner by Garrett Baldwin. You guys, I only recently read Twilight. It's not like I didn't go through the phase where people were reading it right when it came out. Like I took almost 10 years for me to get into it. These books were actually given to me by an old co-worker, so that's how I ended up reading Twilight. I don't think I ever would have if this wasn't free. But yeah, Twilight is a very nice, fond memory for me at this point. I did end up getting Midnight Sun over there by Stephanie Meyer. It is kind of like the first book, but Edward's perspective. So yeah, these are all the Twilight books. You know, Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. My favorite movies are these two here. I can watch them all day, every day, because they are so ridiculous. This is the short Second Life of Bree Tanner, again by Stephanie, and then Catherine Hardwick, who I think might have been the director. This is her little Twilight notebook. All right, moving on. John Grisham, The Whistler, and then Stephen King, Misery. Oh, I just see Kathy Bates right now. And then over here, I tried to do somewhat of a rainbow type of situation. So I just have some X-Files books. It's just kind of like behind the scenes type of stuff. Super fun. Just X-File things, really. 2 of the Harry Potter books. I think those are kind of like the original designs as far as like the editions. The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, and looks like they're an MD. Argo by Antonio Mendez and Matt Baglio. Life of Pi by Jan Martel. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Paper Towns by John Green. Again, let me know if that one's worth it, because it might not be anymore in my season, you know, to read something like this. Ernest Hemingway's The Sun. The Sun Also Rises. I was gonna say The Sun is also a star. The Harlot by the Side of the Road. Forbidden Tales of the Bible by Jonathan Kirsch. The Tale of Despero by Kate DiCamillo. The Host by Stephanie Meyer, who's the Twilight person, of course. The Almost Moon by Alice Sebold. And then we have The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I really didn't like The Lovely Bones. Audrey Neffenegger, The Time Traveler's Wife. Great book. The Next Thing on My List by Jill Smolinski. The Secret Garden by probably Frances Hodgson Burnett again. Jodi Picoult's My Sister's Keeper. The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. Oh, you say I have 2 copies again. The Last Song and now The Zookeeper's Wife. Pat Conroy, The Great Santini, The Tale of Dueling Neurosurgeons, which will be for our Narratives of Medicine video. The Shack by Young, A Bend in the Road by Nicholas Sparks. Complications by Atul Gawande. A little dark back there, sorry. But we have The Tiger's Wife, Memoirs of a Geisha, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, and then The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. Le Roux. Le Roux. I think that's how you say it. And then finally, my last little shelf down here. This is The Clockmaker's Daughter, I think. That one for free too, I think. I have this cute like little seafoam green vase with a dried flower in there. This little ceramic white thing with a little ring as well. And then what is this title? This one is called The Hopefuls by Jennifer Close. I have the yellow wallpaper and then this camera bag and a cactus lamp. Everything else is kind of inconsequential, honestly. So that is the end of that bookshelf. Okay guys, so that was the bookshelf tour. Let me know what you thought of how I decorated everything. Of course, some of it is so unfinished and so not my style. Like a lot of the books were just chucked in there, so ugh. I really apologize if my hands are a little shaky. This was the first time I ever filmed like a bookshelf tour, but I really wanted it to be filmed so that way I have like, you know, somewhere on my channel that I can go back and refer to how the books were somewhat organized. But yeah, I do have a couple of questions for you guys. Please let me know, you know, what your thoughts are on, are there any books that shocked you? Were there any books that you've read that you're like, oh no, it's not worth it? Did you have any that you are meaning to get? Any favorites, least favorites, any that are like, oh, I've never heard of that one before? But yeah, answer my questions if you please in the comments section below. But thank you so much again for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.